Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just doing a catch up. It's February the 15th and doing a little back planning from yesterday and the day before. I wanted to show you all this happy planner planning book that I got, and I decided to start keeping my planner in that way I can add in like stickers. And I recently found this sticker book that I was trying to create, I would say like a couple of years ago, and all of these stickers in here are pretty much from the Dollar Tree. So another thing that I'm trying to get, and I may even put some in the happy planner like pouch bookkeeper thing. So typically I don't do too much back planning. There are times where I have to like catch up, whether I was busy, especially if I work. And last night I worked until 12 a.m. So I didn't really get a chance to do as much planning as I wanted to. I've been trying to really keep up with and stay with the like challenge or goals calendar. And so I was just adding in veggies because I had a salad 2 days this week. So I've been tracking that. I went on an outing and I have been making it to work on time, so that's good. I haven't necessarily been doing the sign language 5 times a week, but I have been doing it more than lately. So with my events calendar, I normally tend to just highlight, and that's my way of showing that I actually did that event or appointment. And those are the types of things I like to check off. I really like to keep up with my mood. I didn't do a review last month to see what was my mood mainly for that month, but I'm gonna try to make sure I do it this month. I'm back using my Apple Watch, where I had recently got a new one. At first I was using Fitbit, and I didn't wear my watch last night, so I don't know what I slept, but sadly I know it was not a lot. I track calories, not that it's something that I actually track like that, but I know it's one of the features that comes up on my Apple Watch when you look in the fitness part and steps and flights. One thing that I mainly pay attention to is how many flights I did or floors and step-wise. So I really hone in on the floors, the amount of steps that I do per day, and sleep. Calories, I just thought to throw it in there because it's already there. And right now I'm filling out my habit tracker. That's something I've been really trying to keep up with. I mean, I like this form to see it in a whole month. I think at the end, it'll really give me an idea across the scale, and versus to how I was using it the previous months were tracking each week separately. So I think in the grand scheme of things, in being able to see my progress, like visually see it, I think it's better if I do it within a month like this. So I'm really happy about that. It's just a matter of being able to fit this monthly view in whatever size planner that I use. I am not well versed technical wise, so like adjusting things is a huge issue for me. So that's something I'm trying to work on and play around with as well. And I'm pretty sure you can tell my voice is still the same. I don't know if you've ever experienced postnasal drip or really bad sinus where it hits the throat pretty bad. I just took a sip of water. Had 2 rounds of antibiotics, and I still just have this really bad cough. But I'm still pushing on. I really like to keep track of my food. One thing that I need to do is go back and review it. And that's what I failed to do because, in my mind, I'm like, if I'm going to track it, I really need to go back and review it. And I think it's better if I review it weekly. So that way I'll know going into the new week what I need to add more of. Or, just in general, what I did good with or what I didn't. And I haven't had as much carbs this week as I would typically have. So that I'm happy about. And the same thing goes for the eggs. Today was the first day that I had 2 actual eggs. The other days, I pretty much use egg whites, which I'm happy for. I am filling in the weekly forecast because some of the things that I had in mind, I didn't do it when I set this week up, besides stuff that I knew right off the bat. So I'm just filling in some things that I know. And I think that just speaks to how busy my week started out and the importance for me in doing a weekly forecast. So I'll make that a priority. This is the first time that I've ever had to fill it out in this way. Just really overwhelmed. I think I was anxious about all the time that I'm working this week and worrying about the rest or lack of rest that I was going to get. So I think that played a huge part. Now, I know I mentioned this before, that the planner or setup for my next month, I am going to cut off the length. This month, I cut off the length, the width. I cut off the width. But next month, I'm going to cut the length down because I want to try to do or play around with another layout just to track what I'm doing throughout the day. Because I'm realizing that I'm not as productive once I go back like midweek and look at my weekly tasks that I had planned. Either I'm rushing or overwhelming myself to try to knock a lot of things out in the days that I have off, which takes away from my time for my kids and just myself in general. So that's something that I want to spread throughout the whole week, but really be better at. And I think I'm going to track my day and just see what it is that I do in a day to be able to say, okay, this is why I'm not productive because this is what I'm spending most of my time on. So it's just another way that I'm really trying to get into being more intentional with what I'm doing. And what I use the notes for this week in the setup that I have now is basically almost like not notes to myself, but just like reminders or evaluations or reflections of the day. So like some of the things I put, like you'll see me putting right here, tired, because I was extremely tired. I really need to get better with my sleep. And I think if I'm better with my sleep, my overall productivity will be better. But I also kind of question myself too. Like I can be very productive at work and not necessarily like mopey at work. And if I can do that at work for a company, then I need to have that same intention for me at home. So it's just another thing that I know I need to work on and get a lot better with. Also with my setups, I think I'm going to start leaving a little bit more extra space when I do the layout at the beginning of the week, which will give me more chances to use these functional stickers like you see now, and just the Dollar Tree stickers in general. I have so many of them and I really don't want them to go to waste. Typically I try to save them for like my everyday carries or the little notebooks that I'm in and out of, because it just gives me a time to like kind of play with them and be fun with it there. But I do want to use the functional stickers because that's always been a struggle for me, and they really do work. I realized that when I started doing a weekly forecast that the functional stickers do work if you actually use them. So that's something that I'm trying to incorporate more of. One of the notes that I left for myself this week was I need to evaluate myself more against like my goals, and I think it would be better if I did more of a daily evaluation. even if I'm not necessarily writing it down, but I think if I write it down, it will create a habit in me where I just do it naturally from there on. So I'm just kind of deciding if I want to do that in my Moleskine, because I was using Moleskine as a memory keeper. But technically that is like remembering where I was that day and the progress that I made and just how I felt about myself for that day. And I don't feel like that necessarily needs to go in my journal. So I've been trying to think of ways to fit that in, because evaluating is so important to overall production and success. I think about at my job how they randomly pull and monitor random calls from us so many times a month, and they critique us on it, and I think it's great because it shows the consistency and productivity, the consistency in how you're approaching things. It can uncover challenges, strengths, a whole lot of things. So I think that evaluation or reflection, whatever word you kind of choose to use, is very important. Let me know, you all, if you evaluate at the end of the month, if your planner is even working for you or if your layout is working for you. And I think that in exploring like that evaluation state caused me to kind of look at different layouts and try to see how I can make the layout work for me. Now that I know creating my own planner works because it allows me to put in what I need, playing around with the layout as to my needs for that month or week per se is good. So definitely try it out if you aren't already doing so. And if so, what are some things that you learned about yourself? Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.